Before I do this, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Oluwaremilekun. A name that means God has released me of my tears, but so many times I've cried. I've tried to release all this load that makes my tongue afraid to hold the conversation. To release all this lead that makes me a Moses with fortune lips. Yes, I am a stammerer, or what the Yoruba call an akalulu. Funny enough, the consciousness of being a stammerer didn't weigh heavy on me as a child. All I knew is that before I could get this tongue to move until I called, I had to repeatedly press on an imaginary throttle of this car that I could stay with my closed eyes and clenched face. It was until I got into SS1 in a new school that the reality set in. That my tongue lags and always tries to play catch up with the frenzy of my thoughts like a mismatched video frame and audio sample rate. You see, Merriam-Webster says to stammer is to make involuntary stops and repetitions in speaking. This is true but vague, like other dictionary definitions. For example, a dictionary will tell you that a boy is a male child or a young man, but face will tell you that a boy has been forced to carry the cargo of family and societal expectations on his back. Also, on his back is the burden of bringing his father's failed dreams to reality, and so he has become so bent he no longer has a spine to man up for himself but for others. Or where it tells you that a girl is a female child or a young woman, but face to tell you that a girl is a billboard that displays the hypocrisy of the society. That a girl has been limited to only what every part of her body can provide, but never her brain. That a girl has been programmed to think that she is dedicated and powerless, even though she was the one given the power to birth life. But that is a story for another day. Actually, it should be a story told every other day. But today, I will tell you what it means to be a stammerer. Only if you and my tongue will excuse me. To be a stammerer is to find it hard to participate in conversations because there is no room for a mouth that has employed repetition as its dominant device. It is to smile and not sheepishly, even though there are thoughts you love to share, but you can't share them because your tongue is just one blunt sickle. It is to be asked by a lecturer if you are sick when defending a group project, because from the beginning to the end, your answer was like driving on the road in Ogun State. Many stops due to plenty of potholes. To be a stammerer is to be the brunt of jokes from not so funny one and be funny bones. There be no way some way where you go like they put beside you for example. Man say you dey for physics exam and you can't ask me question one AI. After if you to dance say pens up, let me go see the there go say All these callous jokes are formed layers upon layers of calluses on your tongue so you don't talk anymore to prevent your talk from maybe still more than 30 days. To be a stammerer is for your father to see a poem you wrote on stammering and decides to advise you on how stammering should not stop you from doing the things you want to do. You wanted to ask him why he just telling you this at 24 years of age and not when you were a kid. Before you started seeing yourself as a disabled whose tongue limbs so far sound like a cripple trying to climb a high fence. Before you started believing that the solution to stammering is just to play mute. You wanted to tell him that of course it stopped you from doing so many things. It stopped you from asking for directions because you would rather get lost than approach someone in case your tongue got lost for words. It stopped you from telling your crush in school that you liked her because the look of pity on her face could crush your soul and spirit. It stopped you from telling the bus conductor, oh wow, so you get off at the last stop and walk 20 minutes back to your bus stop. You wanted to tell him all this, but your tongue won't excuse you. It's not that bad now. All you need to do is just to calm down, do not be anxious, and you will stammer. As if there's an anxiety switch I can just flip on and off. But maybe I should pray. Maybe I should pray that you will let a handway of vocal cords becomes an escape room that kills your thoughts before they can become words. And those are managed to escape become broken and repetitive phonemes. To be a stammerer is to be all these things. It can be all these things. But to be a stammerer is to always strive to be successful no matter how many times you fail. No matter the number of times you repeat the middle consonant in your name when introducing yourself. It is to learn to take deep breaths and pauses when things aren't going so well. To go back, you strategize and come back with power like that ram in the Yoruba proverb. To be a stammerer is to know that the worst part of stammering isn't the stammer itself. It's the fear of it. So you continuously learn not to keep mute because you know that a closed mouth is a graveyard where unspoken thoughts are buried and become ghosts that haunt you forever. To be a stammerer is to learn to do things afraid. like standing in front of a crowd to recite poetry even though your heart beats hard on stage to break free and your legs shake as if they want to detach to run back to the safety of being a spectator. To be a stammerer is to be intentional. Every word a stammerer speaks is a word that must be said. Trust me, when those words come out, no matter the amount of stops they come out in, wisdom will always follow. To be a stammerer is to be an effective advisor. When you listen to advice from a stammerer, no matter how hard of hearing you are, it is hard to forget because Coca-Cola Rofa Aditi. To be a stammerer is to join the ranks of the greats, like Moses, James L. Jones, Samuel L. Jackson, Ike Ogbonna, Elvis Presley, Mr. Bean, and a host of others who, despite their stammering, became successful in their respective career. To be a stammerer is to also join the ranks and file of the everyday people, who stammer but show up every day. To know the bartender, to know the customer care rep, I'm not the teacher, and to Emeka the communications manager. To be a stammerer is to be unique. It is to stand out from the crowd. And I dare say, to be a stammerer is to be a superhuman. And now, as I end this piece, allow me to introduce myself again. My name is Oluwaremilekun, but you can call me Akaloluremi.